As we are taking a look at the final lineup here in this women's heptathlon, and this is the fastest heat of them, and this has the big names in it. A lot of contenders for medals. Here is the woman I briefly mentioned. Incredibly talented athlete. Still just 23 years of age. World Athlete of the Year last year. Nafissatou Thiam, as she is called, the Belgian. Tough to beat. When she gets it right, she is one of the strongest heptathletes in the world. Won world indoor title and Commonwealth title this year for Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Katerina, Thompson. Now a crowd favorite here. She's been around for quite a while. Very talented athlete. Silver medalist in London last year in the World Championships, Caroline Schäfer. And right next to her, another strong German. The only athlete in this field to have gone sub-13 over the hurdles, Luisa Grauvogel. Next to her, a former world youth champion for the Czech Republic, Katerina. There in lane 6, the French champion, both indoors and out, Esther Turpin. And there we have in lane 7, a former European under-23 champion, trained with Ashton Eaton and Brianne Tyson-Eaton for a while. Based in the States, Grit Sadaiko, another strong Estonian, as we see often in the multi-events. And there we have the defending champion. Just one Dutch athlete in this field, which is very rare to see in the heptathlon. Anouk Vetter. And they're away. Grauvogel already getting out there strongly. Build up quite the gap. Grit Sadaiko going well as well in lane 7, but Grauvogel really showing her strength. Then Katerina Kacheva, I think, following on behind her, the Czech, but what a performance. Very close to her personal best there, 12:97 for Luisa Grauvogel, and she will be very delighted with that. Yes, Kacheva gets it in an equal season's best for the Czech, 13:29. Caroline Schäfer in third there, 13:33, and that is slightly down on her season's best.
Someone else who'll be very pleased is Katerina Thompson to have run 13:34. Easily a season's best and close to her personal best. Nafissatou Thiam just left a little bit further back, but nothing really much to worry about. She's lost a little ground, but this is probably one of her weakest events. So
absolutely.
Don't expect too much, but the left of the screen there, she's probably further back than she would have liked.
Absolutely, but I mean, next up, of course, is the high jump, and the likes of Nafissatou Thiam and Katerina Thompson, of course, both very dominant in that event. Performed an incredible high jump in Rio. Nafissatou Thiam, as you mentioned, or both of Katerina and Nafi, both could be medal contenders in the individual high jump. Here we have the results for that final heat. Couple of season's bests, but Grauvogel there really showing what a strong hurdler she is.
So there are the points in the heptathlon after that first event. Grauvogel with a clear lead with 11:29 points from Kacheva, Schäfer, Thompson, Sadaiko, Turpin. Just looking right the way down, over 1,000 points for 15 of them. Nafissatou Thiam only 14th, as we said, not much to worry about, but a little bit down on what she might have looked for. Back to the high jump. Kacheva's second attempt at 185. Oh yes, well, we said before that she looked to have that sort of potential to clear it, and she's done just that. So that matches her personal best.
And her personal best has actually been on the books since she was a teenager in 2010.
Now then, Nafissatou Thiam, 191 in the high jump. This is getting top class standard now, as these two really good high jumpers contest this event. Thiam. Same again.
I'm still not 100% comfortable with that run up, but she is so effective taking off. There's just so much spring and height. That's actually higher than any of the women needed to jump in the women's high jump qualifying.
They progress, and that was a beautiful clearance. Seemed to have quite a bit to spare there.
Very nicely done for the athlete from Liverpool up in the northwest of England. Yes. So the bar goes up to 194 very quickly.
Result of the high jump in the decathlon. Johnson, Thompson and Thiam getting 191. Katrina 185. Salming and Dadic 182. So the standings in the events as we pan through, and the points to which their high jumping has rewarded them, shown on the right of the screen there. Down to Ramos, the Spanish record holder, at 161. Women's shot in the heptathlon. We've had the 100-meter hurdles and the high jump earlier, and that's the standings after those first two events. Johnson, Thompson, Thiam, Katrina, a little bit clear of the two Germans. Grauvogel, who particularly excelled with easily the fastest time in the 100-meter hurdles, a sub-13 second time. Big field. 29 competitors there. Now then, back in the shot put, let's have a look at Vetter, who improved substantially in the second round. And I think that's yet further. Only a marginal improvement, but nonetheless every point counts. So from 1472, what's she done this time? 1479, another 7 centimeters, a few extra valued points. Nafissatou Thiam, third and final put in the shot put competition. She's moved into the lead overall with the best she's done so far of 1482. Now a chance to add yet more valuable points. Oh yes, well that's well over 15 meters. Tremendous putting by the Belgian. She may have been a little down on her first two events, but she's right back at her best in the shot. Now personal best coming here was 15 meters 29. Can't be far away, perhaps just a little short. But excellent campaign in the third of the events. 15:35, it is indeed a new personal best for Nafissatou Thiam in the shot put. Well, there's a situation in the women's shot. Thiam gains 884 points, then Vetter and Arndt, the next best shot putters. Johnson Thompson, pretty modest, 1309, but better than she's done in many of her heptathlons for 733 points. Katrina all well down the list, so the standings that we had coming into this event will certainly be quite dramatically altered. Grauvogel also losing a lot of ground there. So there we have it now. Thiam 3,026 points, exactly 100 ahead of Johnson Thompson. Schaefer now moved up to the third, relegating Katrina to fourth. The final race in the 200 meters, the final race of day 1 of the heptathlon. So the question, how much ground can Katerina Johnson-Thompson make up on Thiam? Thiam got 904 points for 24.8 total, and Katerina Johnson-Thompson capable of very significantly bettering that. She goes in lane 5. Trainer, Arndt, Moudens, Graufvogel, Johnson-Thompson, Schaefer, Dadic and Vetter.
Set.
Good start by Graufvogel and Thompson. Thompson making up ground on Schaefer outsider, going past her. Graufvogel though going with her. These two going well clear of the rest of the field. Graufvogel looking great again, and Katerina Johnson-Thompson doing her best to catch her down. Can she do that? Yes, she can. Here comes KJT. Katerina Johnson-Thompson wins the 200 metres. Graufvogel in second place. Then it's pretty close between Prainer on the inside and Schaefer further out. And yes, 22.89 by Johnson-Thompson. She will go into the lead in the heptathlon after the first day, because that is a 22.88 in fact confirmed. The personal best of 22.79, that's a magnificent performance, and a championship best for a 200 metres in a heptathlon here, compared to Ennis Hill's 23.21. There's the result, 22.88, championship best for the heptathlon. Johnson-Thompson, Graufvogel 23.10, Arndt a personal best 23.61, so too Dadic retaining her pressure in the event 23.61. And then Schaefer and Vetter. There we are. Johnson-Thompson now leading by 87 points from Nafissatou Thiam. A further 82 points back then to Schaefer in third place. Right, that's the heptathlon, where we have the long jump as the first event of this second day. Now then, the crucial jumps coming up in the long jump, the third and final jumps for the top 2 in the heptathlon. Johnson-Thompson, who leads the standings coming into this event, the long jump, and has started with 6.44, okay, but long way short of her best. Massive no jump in the second round. How can she go here? Well, it's not as big as that second jump, but it has a white flag raised. Now, let's see what the distance is, because all my anticipations beforehand was she needed something special in the long jump. She's really going to challenge Thiam hard in the overall competition. 6.68, well, it's a good jump, 2 centimeters short of her season's best, but it's not as special as I think she might have needed, because Thiam already has a 6.45 to her credit. Now, Johnson-Thompson will, unless Thiam can produce something here, will widen the gap. Let's see how Thiam goes. Well, that's a long way. Was it okay? Yes, it was. So Thiam really responding to the challenge. She's a great competitor.
And the two of them are really on par so far. If you look in terms of how they are pushing each other on, we can see it in the high jump. As you said, both slightly under what both of them can do, but they are good at pushing each other on.
Yes, both did 191 in the high jump. The major event of the first day, of course, was Johnson-Thompson well ahead in the 200. And Thiam's throws 6.60. Well, there's the situation in the heptathlon long jump. Johnson-Thompson, 6.68, stretches out by 26 points from Thiam, but 6.60, a magnificent effort as we pan down the list of competitors. Most of the leading contenders had a pretty good long jump competition. So the standings are now that Johnson-Thompson has 5,083 points, 113 ahead of Thiam, Dadic in third, Schaefer in fourth, Kacheva in fifth. Javelin will be next, and that I'm sure will make quite a significant difference to those standings. And then late this evening we will end up with the 800 meters.
There is still a women's heptathlon javelin going on with a strong Belgian athlete, very much the favorite for gold.
Now, Schaefer. Roar from the crowd. Well, it landed pretty flat, but it did seem to be point first, and that's a very fine throw indeed by Schaefer, fully maintaining her strong challenge for a medal here. 53.69, her personal best before today, and just coming through. She's added a little bit to that. 53.73 for Schaefer, 932 points. She's up to 5.704, and that's only, 56 points behind Thiam currently. Ruckstuhl, who showed her expertise at the javelin very clearly in the first round with over 55 meters. And showing it again, well over 55 meters. Couple of throws, over 55 for Geraldine Ruckstuhl for Switzerland.
And of course, she has an amazing story because she had a training accident in spring 2016, awkwardly fell on a hurdle, tore her intestine, had to have emergency operation on that, and then came back last year and performed that personal best of 58.31 in the javelin.
Big chance then for Nafissatou Thiam to increase her lead in the heptathlon. Third and final throw in the javelin. Oh, she seems to like it. Oh, wonder she likes it. Wow, that could well be a gold medal winning throw. We've got the 800 to come, and we know she's not so brilliant at that, but that was brilliant.
The Belgian
just hit that perfect.
Commentators around us all jumping up from their seats. What a throw. 57.91.
Well, no, that's worth 1,014 points and takes her up to 5.984. 192 points now ahead of Thompson. A big difference has been made in rounds 2 and 3 of the javelin. One event to go. Nafissatou Thiam leads the heptathlon, 5,984 points, 192 ahead of Katerina Thompson. Schaefer is third, Vetter is fourth, Dadic is fifth, Kacheva is sixth. There are some quite big gaps there, though, and it would be unlikely, unless something strange happens in the 800 meters, for those first 3 positions to change at all. So, running down, all those athletes there, all over 5,000 so far, with one event to go.
As we take a look at the final 800-meter race of the heptathlon.
So Christian's point scores goes up to 6.367, and these are now the leaders. Katerina Kacheva, who is lying in 6th place overall, where she was, in fact, 2 years ago as well. Then Ivona Dadic, the Amsterdam bronze medalist. She's lying 5th. All the athletes wearing their placings to 6 events on their bibs. So Anouk Vetter, the defending champion. There's number 4, 4th place. In second, it's Katrina Thompson. She's a very fine 800-meter runner. Ignore that personal best, the season's best of 2:21. She can go much quicker than that, but I don't think she can narrow the gap on the woman we're going to see. And here she is, the Olympic, the world champion, Nafissatou Thiam from Belgium. Not a good 800-meter runner, but nonetheless, maybe Thompson can claw back 100 points from her. But the margin by which she leads is 192. Caroline Schaefer looks set for the bronze medal to add to the world silver. Hasn't yet got a European medal. 4th 2 years ago, 10th before that. Lying 9th, Geraldine Ruckstuhl, who excelled in the javelin earlier today with a couple of throws over 55 meters. World Youth Champion just 3 years ago. And lying 8th is Verena Preider, last year's World University Games champion. Verena in 8th. But just to recap the leading positions, Thiam has 5.984, Thompson 5.792, Schaefer 5.704, and Vetter 5.629. Big gaps. So off they go. They've done 6 events already. The fortunes have ebbed and flowed a bit. Nafissatou Thiam was just a little bit down in her first couple of events yesterday, and both she and Thompson perhaps a little below their best at 191 in the high jump. But Thiam responded with a personal best in the shot, and she really has excelled today with 6.60 in the long jump and 57.91. So we see Thompson, of course, running strongly as we would have expected. Roar in the stadium from some field event action, which will bring you no doubt after this race. Thiam well back, but she'll just have to keep her sights on the women ahead of her. She can afford to let Thompson here go much further out. Kacheva in second place. Thiam back in, 7th. 63.75 by Thompson. So on schedule for a very decent performance here in this heptathlon. 800 meters, which she's got a best of 2:07.64. Good to see that she's really back in top form. She may not win the gold medal, but she is back, having a brilliant season. Commonwealth champion, world indoor champion. Nafissatou Thiam plodding along. This is not her event, but she's got a huge gap, and particularly crucial for that was some brilliant javelin throwing. With her first throw in the javelin, it looked like it had opened the way for Thompson. Caroline Schaefer heading for the bronze medal, urged on by the crowd here. Nafissatou Thiam a long way back, but even so, that gap between her and Thompson pretty much unbridgeable. But what a very fine run indeed, and a very fine season by Katrina Thompson, who comes through, and she'll take the silver medal. And Schaefer also, following Kacheva, is finishing very strongly. She will take the silver medal. And here comes the champion. Here comes Nafissatou Thiam to win the gold medal in the 800 meters. Thompson's time, 2:09.84. And it really is good to see that she was up to par and beyond it in some events, and all events. Even her shot and javelin throwers were by highlights useful performances. Very, very tired set of women, of course. Schaefer lying there, so too Nafissatou Thiam. Thiam will know that she's done enough here. I haven't got the time yet, but we knew the gap was unbridgeable.
There we have the times coming through now slowly on the screen. Actually, they're going too fast. We've got them here in front of us. 2:09.84 for Katerina Thompson, 2:11.29 for Prina, 2:11.87 for Dadic, Schaefer 2:14.65, Kacheva 2:14.91, Ruckstuhl 2:15.13, and Nafissatou Thiam 2:19.35.
So that's not exactly great 800 meter running, but look at that. There's the result. 6.816 for Thiam, 6.759 for Thompson, a personal best, 6.602 for Schaefer, a national record for Austria with Dadic overtaking Vetter in that final event. Very high standard of performance there with 6 women at 6,400 points or more. Tribute to the excellent conditions, tribute to some great competition.
And for a European final, I mean, this could as well have been a World Championship final. The standard of this competition, outstanding. And we could just see Nafissatou Thiam being handed the crown that Arthur Abelo also got in the decathlon. So really the multi-eventers, the kings and queens of this European Championships, and they deserve it.
The result of the heptathlon, the gold medal going to Nafissatou Thiam at 6,816 points. Katerina Thompson taking the silver, and Caroline Schaefer taking the bronze. As we pan down the full list, 6 women over 6,400, 13, 14 was it, over 6,000.